But why am I here?
About a year ago, I was meeting a friend in LA for coffee. He had recently graduated and wanted to discuss general advice about navigating the film industry and the journey toward becoming a filmmaker. A visual analogy had been rattling around in my brain for a couple years, but before this meeting, I had never actually said it out loud, largely because it was so random and bizarre. It harkens back to a movie I had only seen once, and yet for whatever reason burned into my subconscious. Yes, I'm here to argue how Pokémon the first movie, now 20 years old, includes a metaphor for the film industry. Released at the peak of the phenomenon, the Pokémon movie was a must-see in the moment. Prior to making this video, I hadn't revisited it, and I wrote my first draft of this before I rewatched it. Now, the metaphor for the film industry, as I shared with my friend, goes like this. In an early sequence, a mysterious character puts out a call to all Pokémon trainers, with some kind of promise of opportunity on an offshore island, accessible only by ferry. Every trainer flocks to participate, but a massive storm causes trouble, cancels the ferry ride, and indicates there is no way to get there. Facing this rejection, the masses give up, but our heroes are not deterred. They decide they'll do anything to get to that island. What follows is an intense, death-defying journey through the ocean against the storm. There was only one image I could perfectly recall, all three characters holding onto Staryu for dear life. Upon arrival, we discovered that only a few trainers made this decision.
Aren't we going to wait for the others?
Only the trainers capable of braving the storm have proven themselves worthy in my master's eyes.
This was a way to narrow it down to only the most committed, and from there, the plot really begins. No matter where this material comes from, there's a specific similarity to the path of becoming a filmmaker. This journey is neither transparent nor straightforward. At first, it seems open to anyone, and then very early on, armchair critics and other detractors will tell you that it's impossible.
I warn you, the waves will be savage. You will never make it.
They'll throw seemingly legitimate excuses your way and tell you to turn around at the starting line. Unlike careers with a clear roadmap, even very challenging careers, there is no single clear path to becoming a career filmmaker, especially for directors. What I found to be true is, you have to forge your own path, and those who really want it will find success. It's a game of tenacity and requires you to stay with it even when massive obstacles are thrown at you, or when there is no clear end in sight. I share this piece very happily on the journey, and there is so much more to be learned along the way. I started this channel as a way to share my film observations and point out details to help people enjoy movies more. My output is lower than my peers because simultaneously, I've been building my career as a director and a documentary filmmaker. Every subscriber increases my ability to prioritize these creations over other potential work projects, and you can keep up with my other work on my website and on Twitter. It's also worth mentioning that I did rewatch the Pokémon movie specifically for this video, and I can confirm that no matter how much nostalgia is baked into it, it's really bad. I mean, this is the title sequence. One last bit. In Pokémon the first movie, even upon arriving at the island, it's really the beginning of the challenges, which reminds me of what I've heard directors who have finished their first feature describe. Like in the movie, where the plot takes off after the treacherous journey, reaching the metaphorical island is more of a beginning than a destination.
To them, this is just one more challenge. They follow their hearts. That is what sets them apart and will make them Pokémon masters.
No matter what obstacles come next, I continue to keep these principles in mind, and I look forward to weathering the storm.
Pika!